For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Simon Scholes. I'm the founder and creative director of Perception Studios, and we help brands and businesses create content that helps them stand out on their social media, be it video, animation, aerial work, video, graphics, all sorts of different types of stuff. But a few years ago, it became obvious to me that not every brand and business had endless marketing budgets. So I wanted to try and help. I wanted to try and give back. What could I do to do that? I created a process called How to 9 Times Your Social Media, which is a process smaller brands, smaller businesses, and even bigger brands can use to create organic, free content themselves rather than paying an agency to do everything for them all the time. So that's what these broadcasts are all about. I'm here to try and help you as best as I can, answering your social media and video questions and talking about different bits and pieces from the book and just stuff that kind of pops up as well. For example, today is World Emoji Day. Did you know that? Yeah, this is an interesting one. How many of you actually use emojis is the million-dollar question. Because emojis are brilliant. They're a fantastic tool. They really help brands and businesses kind of do all sorts of things, to be honest. I mean, they can be used in advertising campaigns. They can just be used in normal text to each other. They can be used in your normal postings on things like Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. The reason why I believe they're so great is that emojis are an excellent way of, number one, breaking down the language barriers. Sometimes people will be consuming your content, but when they look at what you've put down as an emoji, they'll understand what it is you actually mean. We'll come to that a little bit more in a second. But also, they help portray body language and what you're trying to really say. Because sometimes when you're reading text, you can read it in your own voice rather than the voice of the person who's written it. And sometimes you might put emphasis in the wrong places and end up getting really pissed off by what they've had to say, rather than actually appreciating the angle that they're coming at with what they've got to say on the text, but all because you've read it the wrong way. So an emoji is a great way of actually breaking down that potential problem. I'm just going to close my window. I'm not sure what's going on out there. Sounds like somebody's having a party. So yeah, an emoji is a great way of breaking down the potential problem, and because you can show different types of emotion, you can show different types of feelings, different types of body language, all sorts of things. So for me, I believe they're a really great tool for every brand and business. The only downside to them is when you make a royal cock up with them and don't use them properly or don't use them in the proper way or understand what it is that you're showing. I mean, a great example, if you've made a mistake as well, is the drinks campaign. I won't mention the drink particularly, but the girl, it's Tango, she sends a text message, accidentally sends it to her dad, and she's saying fancy some, and then it's an aubergine. Now we all, hopefully we're all adults and know what the aubergine emoji actually means. Well, she sent it to the wrong person, so she has to cover her tracks. And there's a lot of brands that have done this as well in the past. They've used emojis, and emojis can be such a powerful way of marketing your brand and doing different things if you do it right. There are times where brands will get it completely wrong. So I'm just going to show some examples of those. This is one here. Hopefully you can see that. This is a brand called Tampico, and Tampico is a drinks brand. And as you can see across the top, it's gallons of, and then what? Not really sure what they're trying to say. Normally you would put a chain of emojis so that they end up actually meaning something, probably a sentence or something like that. There is no real indication as to what on earth that means. There's a lot of love there, some green love, so maybe they mean vegetable love. I don't know. Really don't. I've looked at this over and over again and still have no idea what they were trying to say. And so that's one example of just getting it so wrong. You can get it so right, but you can also get it so wrong as well. Here's another example. This one was from Diesel. Diesel had an ad campaign go out. And so, yes, it's great to copy an emoji in an image. Brilliant. But why has he got his shoes on his hands? Because obviously that's where we wear our shoes, isn't it? On our hands. What were they trying to say? This is a real advert they put out And yeah, I kind of get it, but yeah, it's great to copy the emoji. But in what real life situation would you ever put a great big pair of red shoes on your hands? Yeah. So when it comes to using emojis for your brand, for your business, you've really got to get it right. You've got to understand what it is you're trying to say, and then look at it as an outsider and just go, okay, maybe we're going to look a bit stupid doing this, or maybe actually it might be obvious to us what it means, but if I'm going to put a big chain of emojis together, which are generally meant to make a sentence, maybe I should put it in front of some people first and see if they know what it is I'm trying to say. Because if they don't, probably the rest of the audience that we're putting this stuff out to will have not got a clue either. And so, yeah, you've got to be so careful with the emojis you use, but they are such a great, powerful tool. They will help with engagement as well. People will stop in their tracks because they see an emoji. It's not as good as a general visual for your content, but if you don't have a visual for your content or a video, they could just help maybe show your piece of content a little bit more interesting than just a bunch of text. So don't shy away from using them. Just be really careful how you use them, because they can be a great tool. And especially on National Emoji Day, it would be great to create content around emojis and all that kind of stuff. But just be aware that using the wrong ones can either cause problems or just make you seem like you're really not in touch with anybody at all. So yeah, but just remember, everybody uses them. On LinkedIn, you can still see the poop emoji popping up now and again and stuff. So yeah, don't get so uptight about using them. They're there for a bit of fun, but they can have a great use as well. And if you're going to use them in advertising campaigns, probably go to a creative agency who knows what the hell they're doing, rather than some of the other ones I've seen this morning when I've been doing research on this have been unbelievable. There's been some real, just like, what on earth were you thinking moments in my mind. And if you want a hand understanding what certain emojis might generally mean, there's emoji dictionaries online. You could even make your own. There's an app called Emoji Maker as well, so you can actually make one specifically for the content that you're about to put out. So if it's maybe actually a brand-based piece of content and you want it to use it for advertising and you want an emoji connected to it, then you could actually make your own emoji and then put that emoji out. And then, yeah, people could maybe even copy and paste it and use it themselves. And yeah, it could get quite interesting if you get it right. If you get it wrong, yeah, it's not good.